Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Moonshine, and I'm the host of today's AMA with Empulser. And in today's AMA, we are going to discover how the innovative technology is democratizing access to power and driving the next frontier of energy solutions. So we're so happy to have you guys here with GoldDiggers. So could you start by introducing yourself, the team behind Empulser, and how you guys started this project?
Thank you, Moonshine. Good morning to everyone from New York. I am Patrick Tsang. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Empulser. We are a contactless power transfer company based out of Switzerland. One of my co-founders who's also on the call is Roman, our Empulser. He's our Chief Product Officer. And then we have Tim, who's our COO, who does the logistics business. I've been in finance and technology for almost 30 years. I've been an entrepreneur since a young age. I've been an investor most of my life. I've been investing in angel and venture companies and taking them public. In 2020, I listed the biggest IPO in the world during COVID. It was called Fubo TV, which some of you might have heard of. It's Netflix for live sports in the US, Canada, and Spain. We took it from a $30 million company to $2.5 billion on IPO in 2 years. And then the Wall Street bets guys followed us, including some of the Pengu guys. And it took the price to $9 billion in 3 more months. So in just over 2 years, we did 300x. And then thereafter, I've just been investing a lot in various sectors. Now we focus on AI, robotics, biotech. Last year, I met with Roman, who's the main guy involved with Empulser, and the technology was so profound that I thought this is the most ambitious project to date for me. And what we do is we're able to transfer energy from point A to point B. So you can now charge your phone and drones without a cable. That's it in a nutshell. I'm sure in the interview we will talk more.
Nice. It's cool to see that you have a strong team and backing behind the project. Because even from the website, I see you guys have advisors across a range of disciplines and even the headquarters in the USA. So, is the team physically managing the headquarters in US? Have those who have been hired to take care of that region?
Sorry, the reception is not good, but I think your question is where is headquarters and where we are. The HQ right now is still in Switzerland. The R&D and the professors and the experts are mainly in Switzerland. So that's where the bulk of the research and the development and the manufacturing is right now. I'm physically based in the US now, and I'm doing a lot of the strategic partnerships. We now have a couple of partnerships signed up. The latest one is with a company called PowerCast, which is headquartered in Pittsburgh. They are the leading experts in the technology called RF powerless transfer, which is radio frequency. So there's 3 types of power transfers. One is RF, radio frequency, which is emitting small, low wattage radio frequencies, charging things like keyboards, remote controls, something of low wattage. The second one is magnetic resonance, which is not to be mixed up with MagSafe, which is the power banks that is charging your Apple iPhone or your Samsung. And then which is kind of like a force field. So let's say this force field has the energy. If you put your phone in any way, it'll be able to charge without having to put it in a very specific position. And then the third one is optical laser, which is using a very strong beam of laser to power things. So one of our products, which is being manufactured as we speak, is called the S-Drone. The drone will be able to fly with, usually the limitation of a drone is around 60 minutes with battery. What we're able to do is to eliminate the need for battery. So in emergency services, for example, the laser will be able to, in the line of sight, will be able to charge the drone in motion.
Nice. Thank you so much for explaining that. Really appreciate it. So I think the next question I wanted to ask is, you explaining the term contactless power transfer, and exactly why is it considered a paradigm shift in energy technology?
So I just want to make it clear, we are not an energy company. We don't create the energy and we don't um, generate the energy. We are merely transferring the energy. So there are use cases in various ways, such as one of our products is called LifeFinder. It's a partnership we have with a Swedish company called LifeFinder. It's a very small device, like the size of your AirPods. And it's a device, for example, in extreme conditions like an oil rig or in the desert, in mining conditions, for your staff and your employees. If they fall overboard or they're in danger, you're able to locate them. And even in situations where the battery runs out, the CPT will be able to keep it still detectable.
Nice. Thank you so much for walking us through that and for clarifying that you guys are not actually producing the energy. So I think the next part I'd like us to go to is the ecosystem. What role does the CPT token play in the Empulser ecosystem?
What is the, sorry, please, Moonchen, can you please repeat that question, the first part?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
No, I couldn't hear you clearly.
Okay, I was asking about the ecosystem and the token. So I was asking what role does the CPT token play in the Empulser ecosystem?
All right. Okay. Understand. So there's a platform, ICM, Internet Capital Markets Launchpad called SOAR, which launched recently around 2-3 months ago. And we were one of the first, in fact, we were the first company to launch on the Launchpad. So instead of just investing or instead of just participating in a meme coin, what they do is they find strategic and good companies out there, such as ours, found. For example, when you give you an example, for example, in AI, if you're not in San Francisco, San Francisco is, I think the figures are something like 53% of all AI companies come out of the US, 36% come out of China, the rest are the rest of the world, including Japan, Germany, Korea. So basically, countries outside China and the US right now are irrelevant for AI. Everyone will not really play a part. They just can only participate alongside the US and China. And in SF specifically, there are only two places where one can access these deals. One is in the Battery Club, and then another one is the Four Seasons. And people, investors, or people within the ecosystem, when they enter these two places to talk about deals, if you walk out the door without signing the paper, that deal would have gone. You will not get access to that deal again until by the time you hear of it, it'll be like a $500 billion, $1 trillion company. And in that time, if you invest, is it a good company? Absolutely, yes. But the issue is you will not be able to 10, 20, 50x your money. You want to try and get into these companies a lot earlier. So a lot of people who are listening, a lot of the retail and the people who may only be able to afford $500,000, $10,000, $100,000, they will not be able to access the best deals. Those deals are already distributed to everyone in Silicon Valley, on Wall Street, or in Hong Kong, and so forth. So as a result, what SOAR is doing is able to democratize and share and give people an opportunity to look at founders and projects before other people, because some people might not be VCs, they might not be in an angel network, they don't know anyone. And actually through this platform, I've actually met a lot of very young, smart guys who are not even educated or trained in the field, but have all self-learned through X, and as you guys call it, in the trenches, talking to your friends and just getting the best advice. So I've been technologist for the last 30 years. And in that time, I've seen the big changes from, I grew up without a mobile phone or a laptop. And obviously the mobile phone, social media, even X is such a big part of our lives now. And I've seen the shifts and the changes, how we've changed from landline to mobile to smartphone. And later on now we have AI, where eventually I think apps will disappear and it'll just be AI agents running your life, right? But this will be maybe 3 to 5 years time. And that paradigm shift, I was also an early adopter into crypto. I went into crypto around 2015. So I've just invested. It's not my main business, but I've been investing since then. And now I'm in the 11th year. So I'm a big believer of blockchain technology. I'm not a fan of Bitcoin, but I like things which have utility. I don't like investing or looking at things which is just pure speculation. I like it when there's an underlying value to things, because ultimately you should get paid and rewarded if there is value creation. That's how it works in Web2 and the general TradFi sphere, which is where I've been honing my skills. And as a result of that, I wanted to see how we can actually eventually bridge Web2 to Web3. And I believe that ICM is one of the more innovative ways of doing so in the last 6 to 12 months. And we're still at the beginning. And I believe that SOAR is a great platform. I spend a lot of time with the founders and I like the people. Now, in my line of investment and thinking philosophy for the last 20 years plus, it's always about the people. The tech can be great, everything can be good, but ultimately you need the people that have the energy, the desire, the grit to be able to pull this through. You want people that are not driven just by the money. Money is obviously important, but that's just a side product. That's just a reward. What I see from the SOAR guys is they're very passionate and determined to solve this problem and make this happen. So we decided to take a chance and go with them, and became the first company that launched on their platform. So the ticker for Empulser on the SOAR platform is CPT on Meteora, and we're doing extremely well. And even after 1010 and all the recent bear movements, we've still been able to hold our own. Essentially, we have a debt, and this debt is linked to the token and subject to a liquidity event such as an IPO. Whenever we do it, then the token holders are then rewarded pro rata to how many tokens they hold in proportion to the debt that is owed to the company.
Nice. I really appreciate the thorough details and that answer. And it makes me also curious about these live finder CPT that you guys have built, because I saw on the website that the value at by 2033 is going to be around $150 billion. And I just want to ask, what makes you certain that this is going to exceed that certain amount? And are there no setbacks that you guys have faced while building this and being sure of the success of this product?
Well, basically, the figures speak for themselves. They are just stats that are in the industry, and that's what's going to happen. So whether we like it or not, that's the state in which it's growing. I guess the only disruption potentially in what we're looking at today is AI and robotics. I still think that we are very far away from a robot completely replacing the human for some human tasks. A lot of like thinking, compute, legal, finance, software engineering, things like that, which are a bit more abstract that the computer can do. These will be replaced by AI very quickly. But for LifeFinder, ultimately, we're still humans. The robots are not Terminator styles capable yet of rescuing somebody from the water or breaking into a house and then solving a crime scene, right? So in the LifeFinder example, somebody who's dropped into the water, I think we're still some time away from a robot displacing that job. So that's why these tools are very much in need, and they are not expensive. They're much cheaper than having another human to track if another human has fallen over the oil rig. So just on that LifeFinder example, it's very clear to us that this market will continue. So you were asking about bottlenecks and any problems that we faced. Every company faces different kinds of issues. We're relatively new. We're still a startup. We're still in the phase of hiring good people. We still need more people. We need more professors, and we need more sales teams. One of the ways to mitigate this risk is we will be partnering with a lot of people. And in this partnership, we will be making less as we are sharing the revenues with our partners. But then the other side that we're looking at it from it is the market is so huge, the pie is so huge that we would rather share a bigger pie with quality partners than trying to own everything and try to do everything ourselves and eat out of a smaller pie. So we're looking for partners in the US, in the Middle East, in Europe, in the UK, in Asia, and Africa. And all 5 of these regions we are looking at currently as we speak. We want to be a lot more solid than a lot of companies where we will only announce and post things where actually we've inked onto writing with an agreement. If we are not sure, we do not say it. And everything that we say is public knowledge. We've registered, applied for a few patents already, and we're looking to apply for another around 10 this year. And I'm looking very frantically for sales team and the collaboration in the US. And we will move forward into a defense tech play for the US market. I think you've lost.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes.
So thank you so much for your answer. And I think you also covered the aspect of partnerships and the kind of strategies you guys would implement for, future breakthrough. The next thing I'd like you to cover, while still under the token, could you walk us through your tokenomics, like the supply distribution, if there's any vesting schedules and inflation controls that you guys are going to incorporate?
Yeah, so originally there were like 100% tokens, of which only 7% were distributed. And then last December, I can't remember the exact date, the 93% were not in circulation, but we burnt them. So there's only 7%, which is then reflected onto the debt structure. And all the tokens are in where it is. So the market cap, I didn't check today, should be around $1.5 to $2 million. But this is not a true reflection of what the company truly is in terms of valuation. And this is okay because this is not an equity token. This is through the DRP standard, which SOAR have done. And I'd like to take a chance today with the participants on the call, which is, I think a lot of the people on the call are probably more Web3 people. But me coming from a TradFi Web2 perspective, the valuation, what you see in real life, is very different to how it is reflected in a token, for example. When you go IPO, there's usually 5 or 6 ways in which you can evaluate the valuation, and usually it's based on future projections. You look at the revenues, you look at the profits, you look at discount cash valuation. And the way to do it is, let's say Tesla, for example, they will project that in 2026, 2027, 2028, they're going to project to sell 1 million cars, 2 million cars, 3 million cars. Each car, they're going to make 5K, so times, 1 million, 10 million, and, whatever million. And then through that, they then have, each industry will have a different multiple. And obviously things like AI, defense tech will have higher multiples of 20 to 50 to 100x of the revenues of the profits. And then things like maybe retail, like Lululemon, for example, their multiple will be lower. right? Because it's not a sexy or as big a scalable product. So things like Google, Apple, Tesla will do much better. So we are obviously a technology company. We're a very advanced type of technology. And because we're focused more on the defense tech side from the US market, then the multiples go up. So the price in the token, in the CPT token on the SOAR platform, does not accurately reflect, in my humble opinion, what the true value of what the company will go to. We're still at the beginning. We're still manufacturing real products. It still takes time to send out and build these products that real customers actually buy in the real world. It has to then go through logistics, taxes, and so forth. So, you don't see this in any Web3 product because there is no product, right? So it's just a lot of it's just speculation because people want to make money. But where we want to bring value to everyone is we want to deliver good products and solutions to our clients and our partners. And then secondly, through that, we make profits. And then through that, you will see that the company will build. And as a result of that, we will get to some kind of liquidity event at some point.
Nice. Thank you so much for your answer concerning that question. So I think the next question I would like to ask, because I think you mentioned expanding into different regions, and the security of the project is something that would also be considered. So what security measures are in place to protect the CPT smart contracts, and have they undergone any independent audits?
What do you mean by what do you mean the security of the token? Or the actual product?
The actual product.
What do you mean by that? I don't understand the question. What do you mean by security?
Like the overall, both the product and the project. Are you guys audited? Do you guys have like a smart contract?
I'm not really sure what your question is asking, but if you're asking about how real the company is we're legally incorporated in Switzerland and the US. We have legal contracts in all the agreements that we do commercial deals with, including PowerCast. We have lawyers and accountants in Switzerland and the US. We've registered patents with the EU Patent Office in the European Union, and it's in the process of doing it globally. We're running the company like a Web2 company, not a Web3 company. It's just the CPT token is the Web3 component of the Empulser company. So I think just to go back to my previous question, which was, I think what we're trying to demonstrate here is try to get and educate and share more information for the Web3 users as to how a typical Web2 company works and how it develops over time and how it makes real money and revenues. And that would correlate to the value creation for Web3 holders.
Okay, nice. So what I was basically trying to ask before, for every Web3 project or in the space, has your token code been checked by an independent security company to make sure there are no bugs or hidden risks? That's what I was trying to ask. Like a third party security firm.
That's something I'm not sure. That's something that SOAR has to answer. I'm not that. That's not my expertise.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I think you mentioned you guys have.
I will find out and I will post it to Mario and the organizers, and we can share it with on this question.
Okay, nice, no problem. So the next question I wanted to ask about community. I basically just want to know how you guys are going to keep onboarding new users to the platform and keep keep the community growing for even future success, because aside from real life users or community, you would also have those like joining your X or your
Yes.
Telegram. So how are you guys going to keep them going, and they're not just there just for holding the token? How would you keep them engaged in what the project has to offer?
Okay. Thank you, Moonshine. It's a great question. So I'm still quite new to this whole ecosystem. I'm still just learning on X and promoting it and giving news and so forth. So the primary sharing of information is via X. I'm still new to this. I'm very happy, open-minded to learn more. So if anyone has any comments, suggestions, or criticism, or wants us to change in any way, I'm very happy to have a discussion. If you can DM me, my profile is public. You can message me, or you can ask a question openly on X, if there's anything specifically you want. And if people want, I can get on like bi-weekly or monthly calls to have updates. Or we can do more discussions like this where people can ask questions and we can share more. And if people like Moonshine, the host, can ask questions, we're very happy to. Right now, we're mainly focused just on X.
Okay, thank you for pointing that out. I really appreciate. I think that's basically what I have to ask, because I know I'm getting a lot of community questions, and so I'd like to just give it back to the community to ask whatever questions they have. But before I take you to them, I don't know if you have anything you'd like to mention that you feel must have not been mentioned during the course of the.
Okay, so we're doing different things. We are in the production of our S drone, which is a drone which is focused on emergency services and other things. We have been on other shows discussing the potential. We did a LAPD case study where instead of spending 47 million US a year by the LAPD for the maintenance of 17 helicopters and their crew, we're able to do it at a fraction of the cost with a 24/7 series of drones that will help to do surveillance and rescue operations for the LAPD. LifeFinder is obviously a amazing product that we have. We're talking to a number of logistics companies. Once, as soon as we sign the sales contract, we will let everyone know. PowerCast is the company that we also did a partnership with. They're huge. They've shipped over 30 million components in the US alone. They're focused on the US. We're now helping them to expand in Europe, Middle East, Asia, and Africa. By 2034, there will be over 1 trillion IoT devices globally. So the market is huge just in that area alone. PowerCast have over 300 patents. Then the US, for radio frequency CPT, right now the number is 1.3 trillion today. By 2035, it'll be over $5 trillion. And for other industries such as transportation, logistics, it will have real-time tracking, position tracking. Smart cities, for example, in sort of like underdeveloped countries, there's going to be data collection, optimization of systems, waste management, energy grid, smart meters, detectors. That all needs little RF components. And then all this will be AI aligned, and everything will be a lot more sustainable. And all this will be done without batteries and wires, right? As I said before, the US company will be focused more on defense tech. There's places like Bermuda, which is a small island, who I happen to know the Prime Minister. They, for example, might not want to spend billions of dollars in setting up and installing underwater cables. So CPT is able to solve some of their problems without the need of incurring a lot of costs for establishing such infrastructure. So that's all in a big nutshell. And then we will have a demo in our new lab in Geneva very soon. And we'll hope to be able to share with you the demo when it's ready.
Okay, thank you so much for walking us through that. So are you open to taking some questions from the community?
Of course. Do I get a prize?
They
Go ahead.
so all right, let me start with smart chain. Smart chain, you can go ahead with your question, please.
Do you say it or does it appear on the screen? How do I see the question?
Okay, it's going to be both a live question and
Oh,
then any written question. I'm going to read it out for
okay,
you. So
no problem.
I unmuted Smart Chain. So you're supposed to ask a question, Smart Chain. Go ahead. Okay, I don't think we have Smart Chain here.
Okay.
Benova on the mic. Probably he's having some connection issues. So Benova, you can go ahead with your question.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Benova.
Yeah.
Hello, PT. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. You? I can't hear
I
you.
think Telegram is just acting weird. Telegram is just weird. I had same issues too earlier. Let's just
Yeah.
give it some time. I believe Benova, we can't hear you. Kindly leave the chat and join again. Let's wait for some few seconds for you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for Telegram. They've been messing up so bad. Yes, I've been listening for some when of you explaining, the concept of the Empulser, what you guys are trying to bring to market. I have just one question. You said the company is a registered company, and I believe that since it's a registered company, you guys will have, shareholders and the rest of them. But my question is, since you have, how do you align the interest of the shareholders with the people who will be holding the token? I believe that since you have a token, that will be the Web3 rather. So, what will you be aligning interest of your shareholders and the holders of the token, who will be also taking decisions from the Web3 space and the rest of them? How do you align their interests, to be able to, align with what the decisions at which the company will be taking in the future? I don't know if you get my question.
I understand your question, Benova. Great question. Okay, so that is exactly what SOAR, the Launchpad, is trying to do, which is through this DRP standard that they have, the CPT token on the SOAR platform is directly correlated to the debt structure between CPT and the token holders. So one of the clauses that triggers the liquidity event is when it goes IPO or there's some kind of big reverse takeover or merger where Empulser is taken over or goes public, then the token holders will then be taken out by paying back that debt, which is correlated to the value of the IPO or the liquidity event. And this is all protected by smart contract, which is not done by Empulser, but by SOAR. We're not the guys in it. Our focus is just to run the company. If we make money and we create value, then once the liquidity event hits, then the token holders will make money. So that's how we are aligned. We are not involved in the tokenomics or the smart contracts. We're just the company running the company and building the company.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I get
So
it.
we're not involved in the tokenomics or the tokens and all that. We're just running the company.
Okay. Thank you very much for your explanation.
Great question.
Thank you very much.
Where are you calling from?
Well, I'm speaking from Nigeria.
Okay. Good to see you.
And so thank you, PT. Thank you, Moonshine, for the
We
opportunity.
will bring the product to Nigeria at some point.
Wow. Well, I would be willing
Yeah.
to partake and
Yeah.
work with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay, thank you so much, Benova, for that question. So I unmuted Minsei. Minsei, you can go ahead with your question, please. Okay, I think Minsei is having some connection issues. Let's try Smart Chain again. He's back. So Smart Chain, you can go ahead with your question.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I think we are having some connection issues. So let me just try to read one of the questions that came in now in the chat
Sure.
in my
Can
DMs.
you, can you,
Think.
Oh, we can
can you
hear
hear me?
Kelvin Corner.
Hmm?
Kelvin,
Was someone speaking?
I just heard somebody
Me,
speak. Kelvin
Can
Corner.
you
Tsang.
hear me?
I can hear Kelvin Corner.
So basically, my question, it goes like this. I just wanted to know, yeah, I just wanted to know what things, make it hard or, impossible for other companies to copy or recreate the impulsers, the CPT, that is the contactless power technologies such as the patents, the specialized technological knowledge, things like that, the long testing and approval processes, and the reward experience that competitors may not easily have. I just want to know what makes you guys unique from others.
Okay, great question. Is it Kelvin, right? Kelvin Corner. Thanks for the question. I think I would say two things. One is we have a team of very highly regarded experts who are professors, doctors in Switzerland, which are in various universities in Switzerland. So one is we have the leading scientists in Europe. We have the patents to help protect us. And then thirdly is some of the manufacturing and the setup of the pieces and the components are not that easily acquired. So the good thing for us is just because you have money, it doesn't mean that tomorrow you can open up a shop and do this. So that's the great thing about the barrier to entry is very high. Secondly is with myself and some of our other partners involved, we're able to network with a lot of the government agencies globally to be able to get the right licenses and the right doors open to do this. So it's a combination of technical expertise, government network expertise, access, and then thirdly is that I'm the deal guy, so I'm able to help bring a lot of partners in so that we can accelerate the growth quicker, so that we get the first mover advantage before other people will try to catch up.
So did I
Thank
answer
you.
your question, Kelvin?
Yeah, it did answer the question. That was really amazing. That
Thank you.
shows that you guys are really transparent in everything you do, and I give you guys a big kudos on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kelvin. Where are you calling from, Kelvin?
Yeah, I'm calling from.
From where? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I think we lost Kelvin.
Oh, Kelvin.
I don't know what's happening
Yeah.
today with the
Okay.
AMA, but the network just keeps acting up. But
No problem.
anyways,
We have
a question came in here from Things, and the question was, how are you guys going to deal with regulatory across every region if you plan to expand to these regions?
great question. I mean, all we can do is it Things? That's the name of the person.
Yeah, Things.
Okay, Things. Thank you for the question. I think I would say, as in any industry, or whether it's Web 2 or Web 3, we have to be legally compliant in any jurisdiction. I'm personally, when I'm trained as a lawyer in the UK and also in Hong Kong. So being legally compliant is very important. I've also been in finance for 30 years now. So you have to basically be fully in compliance with the law and the regulations, and we respect that a lot. So we have to go into each market with good lawyers to ascertain what kind of rules and regulations we have to fulfill and comply with. So it's just through sheer hard work and persistence to be able to go through each jurisdiction separately. You cannot just apply the Swiss way of doing things onto the US market, into Nigeria and into the UK, Middle East, or Hong Kong, for instance. It has to be done all according to the local jurisdiction. And in order to help that, which is why it's very important, is we always try to find local partnerships. In Chinese, we have a saying where the tiger is not able to beat the local worm. The analogy of it just basically means that the local guy will be able to run rings around you, or able to help open doors and so forth. So in this case, is through my global network, we're able to find the right people, the right local networks, including government connections, to help us expedite the process, but more importantly is to ensure that we don't infringe any laws or regulations.
Okay. Hopefully things that answers your question, but if it doesn't, you can still go to Empulser X and ask the question, and I'm sure Patrick will always be ready to give an answer to that. So Mingse, you were raising your hand, but I can't find you anymore. But I think you dropped your question in the chat.
Okay, that's good.
And the question is, what specific strategies does Empulser have in place to ensure that it maintains a competitive edge in terms of decentralization, security, and transaction efficiency?
I think what I would say to that is, in all the companies that I get involved with, we always aim and strive to be the best. We always strive to be the best that we can be, whether it's a business or myself personally. So we will do everything that we can to make the company the best. We will try to adopt the latest technologies, including AI, to make us relevant, to at least not necessarily be the best or overtake everyone, but at least to be in the leading pack. And then you have a chance of getting to the top. So it's all about research, finding the right people. Again, I said at the beginning, it's all about the smart people. The founders are an amazing group of people, very hardworking. They made a joke. I'm not even sure who made this joke, but somebody on X, because we were working constantly around the clock, 24/7, flying here, flying there, doing meetings, getting things done. They said it's Tsang mode, like under my family name, and it's kind of like this crazy meme that's gone on. And then we had a small competition just before Christmas to design like some memes for that, which was quite fun before the holiday. So it's just the spirit and the attitude of the people that will drive the company forward, like any company.
Nice. Thank you so much for answering that question. I can
think
still
Misi's
see
back.
Minseries. I don't know if you have something you'd like to ask, or if that answered your question.
Hello, can you hear me
We can
now?
hear you. Hello, Misi.
Yeah.
Thank you for the response. Thank you very much for reading out my question. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank
Where are
you.
you
It
from?
was nice having you.
Oh.
Patrick, did you say something?
Yeah, I was just asking Misi where she's from. That's all.
Okay. Misa, where are you from?
I am from Nigeria.
From where, sorry?
Nigeria.
Oh, Nigeria. Hello. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Same here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for throwing in that question. I think this is all the question we'll be getting for today.
No problem.
And I really appreciate the questions that came in. I still see a lot of questions in the chat, but guys, if you just kindly follow Empulser on X and drop whatever questions you have, and surely that is where you get updates about the project. And then Patrick, I'll be ending the VC, but I'd like to give you a chance to say one or two things. But something I wanted to mention was we are so glad to have you here at GoldDiggers, and seeing that you guys are trying to have a real product and not just something that is written on the website and all of that. You guys are actually building something that is real. GoldDiggers actually have a real world utility that can help advertise products in the real world. That is extra perks we give to projects like yours that actually are intentional about what they are building. So if you want to learn or understand how this works and how your project can be incorporated into GoldDiggers real world utility, you can probably text Caleb, and a meeting will be arranged so we can how we can work together to keep pushing Empulser as a project. So with that, I don't know if you'd have any final words or what you think about this.
No, thank you, Moonshine. I appreciate that you are busy, that I know that you are outside and still being very professional, so I really appreciate that. I've done many interviews, calls and stuff when I'm running around and stuff. It's a busy life, and appreciate that. I don't have much to say. I'm just very excited to say this is the most ambitious project that I've undertaken in my career. I'd love to continue to share the journey. Please do your own research, understand what it is. If you like it, we're very happy to welcome you. If not, keep looking at our journey and following us. Please DM me, comment, ask questions. We're very open, transparent. I've been in business for a very long time. My reputation is very important. So that hopefully will give some of you credibility and comfort and trust that we are real people doing real business, and hopefully that you can be part of the journey. And appreciate the time from the chance from GoldDigger platform to allow us to say a few words. And I'd love to be back on the show and talk to you, hopefully have more questions. Hopefully Telegram will improve on their quality of video calls. So Pavel, if you're listening, improve on it, because it's not good enough. And that's something that Empulser will not accept in terms of quality.
Yeah, thanks for understanding. And I think this is where we wrap up the AME. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you everyone for joining.
Thanks everyone. Thank you.